Ever wonder how fund managers like Ark Invest Cathie Wood spotted Bitcoin at just 549? How did MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor start amassing 1% of all Bitcoin so early? February 2nd, 2024. Link, Tron, and Immutable X top our crypto screener. Link now. Tron now. Immutable X now. Okay guys, we're going to start right here on our homepage at Amassers.com. This is our Fearmonger Indicator, and there's a graphical way to read this if you're not really a numbers person. There's 5 bulls or 5 bears. Now, the reason we're focusing on Bitcoin is because usually 49 to 50% plus of the market is dominated by Bitcoin, and a rising tide lifts all ships. So in a situation where I can tell that there's really a lot of bullish momentum inside of Bitcoin, that's when I'm most likely to see bullish momentum in the other alternative coins that are here. I'm going to go over and actually look at the screener and put some thoughts together there. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to go through all the different components of this crypto screener. Okay, obviously we have the symbol over here. A green background will mean that statistically this particular token, in this case is Ripple XRP, is bullish on the day. There's going to be a score here. This score right here is the score for that day, so it's bullish on the day. And remember, we started by checking what's the sentiment out there in Bitcoin, which is like half the market in and of itself. Okay, this section right here, when there's a yellow background, I use this to tell, are we not only statistically, maybe we're moving up and there's a pump and you've found a crypto pump, but also statistically, are we possibly close to where the run may be over for that day? Because originally we were only looking at this in terms of that day's position. Here's something new we added over here, and it's a 30-day position. And what this will tell me is, looking at it from a perspective of 30 days, 1 being the bottom, 100 being the top, where are we positioned in that 30 days? Okay, and this is a general rule, but something very easy, a simple crypto strategy to follow when you're using a crypto screener. A simple strategy to follow is, I like to go long when I can tell that we're positioned over 61% over here in the 30 days. That tells me in a longer time frame this market is up, but also on the day this market is up. And all of those examples that I looked at earlier, those comps, you could see that we were starting to see that momentum on the 2nd of February, and we were seeing maybe some pullbacks. So there's money to be made in a counter trend trade. Yes, there is. But if the trend is really in the opposite direction, there's no swing money, there's no buy and hold money to be made there. That's if the trend of 80% of the time we've been going up, then there's more money to be made holding at some point during those 30 days for some days. That's what I'm getting at there. You want that continuation, and you just want to be able to ride and find that pump as early as you can, and that's going to happen on the day, and you want to be able to ride that pump. I believe it was Sir ISAC Newton that said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. So once these crypto pumps start, in general, unless there's some type of news, negative news, that has to be very strong to stop these pumps, so much so that it's unbalanced with the upwards momentum. That's the thing about crypto. Often these narratives or whatever news, it can carry through for days, for weeks, or months. So that's why I look at this 30-day position. Also, I want to mention this. This is another little thing that we put in here. Each of these hourglasses represent 4 hours in the day. So I kind of use this to tell me, are we early in that day? You know, obviously for the numbers guys, there's the UTC time here. But for those who are more visual learners, that's why we included the hourglasses here, so that you can tell if you're early in that day, if you're just planning on day trading and you want to be out as these things get yellow on the day and you want to leave there, or if you want to hold, which is the easier, less involved crypto strategy, is to position yourself well when you start to see the pumps, finding that pump early and then holding, just like in some of those comparative examples that I showed you guys earlier. I think that's everything. We talked about the breadth here, market breadth. We used to monitor only 34 of these. Now my brothers added some. We added some more based on relevancy right now, but also based on the liquidity that we could research and find for the various tokens and coins that we added. Now there are 45 being monitored on here, and you'll always see the breadth of what's moving up and what's moving down, and it'll sift through these and find what is statistically what's unusual momentum to the upside or unusual momentum to the downside. Lastly, I want to point out that you can sort if you're intending on swing trading and using that easy, the less involved crypto strategy. You can click this and come here. Sort these based on the 30-day positions. Like we can see over here on Immutable X that we're 87% on the month, so we've been moving aggressively up on most of these 30 days, but there's a good bit of selling on the day, and that's probably just profit taking. That's how I use that section. Maybe you want to come in here and try and not only just play the momentum route. Maybe you want to do dip and rip and you want to catch those pullbacks and then ride them. Sometimes I'll trade these like that as well. Okay guys, thanks for checking out our video. We talked about using a crypto scanner, and we talked about everything to get you on the right path to finding the most likely candidates for crypto before it pumps. But don't forget to check out my other video where I talk about using Dex Screener, reading order flow on a basic price action chart, and also the critical thinking of understanding how liquidity works in these crypto markets. See you guys on the next video. Once again, like, share, comment, subscribe.